Hey there, happy day 11 of our Get Up and Go challenge, our 30 plus day free Get Up and Go challenge. Today we're going to talk about the S in our SOAP framework, and we're going to do it with respect to our financial health, our financial life. Remember, we've got the 7 key areas of our life, and I asked, and people said, hey, let's do financial first this time. Why? Because a lot of us have got financial concerns up the wazoo, given what's going on in the world and with COVID-19 and everything else that's going on. So let's talk about the S. What the heck does S stand for in our SOAP framework? SOAP framework is just that. It's a framework. It's a way of looking at things. It's a way of evaluating our world and the things that happen around us. And it didn't have a name until COVID-19. And then I thought, oh, I need to clean up my act. We need to clean up. And SOAP became the acronym that applied and fit really, really well to things we were doing every day. I was washing my hands all the time. Now, I came from the food industry, so I was washing my hands 30, 40 times a day anyway, and it seemed like everybody else was just joining me in washing their hands. So what does the S stand for in the SOAP framework? It stands for the situation or the story, whichever word you resonate with. We're always telling ourselves a story about the situation we're in and the situation we want to be in. And we do that with everything and with every area and aspect of our life. So with our financial situation or story, what is the story we're telling ourselves right now? And what do we want it to be? We've done a lot of work on thinking about what we want in each area and aspect of our life. Not a lot of work, but a little work, I hope at least. And we get to decide what that is. We are the authors and the writers and the creators of our own story. We've created the situation we're in right now. Before everybody screams and yells, no, I haven't. It's not my fault COVID came. There's a difference between creating the situation that we're in and accepting and knowing that this is just what is right now, and being a victim to what is right now. We can either be proactive or reactive. And the SOAP framework is all about being proactive, but we want to take it and make it so automatic for us that it's our automatic reaction to any change or challenge that comes our way. So what is our current story, our current situation with respect to the area and aspect of our life we're looking at? So for the next 4 days, we're going to just really dive deep into financial aspects of our life and how would we use this framework for whatever different situation we want to look at. So maybe you've lost your job because of COVID, or maybe you're working at home due to COVID, or maybe your kids are in school or out of school because of COVID, and that's causing you financial challenges or financial changes. A change isn't necessarily a bad thing or a challenge, right? And a challenge isn't always a bad thing. Challenges are both positive, negative, based on how we react to them, how we feel about them. Maybe you've gotten COVID and you're sick and haven't been able to work. Maybe you've had a COVID scare and had to have been quarantined for 2 weeks, and that impacted your income. Maybe your business is shut down due to COVID, and your livelihood for your family has been, cut off and curtailed. My little town, we've had shutdowns for long periods of time, and we are, as of yesterday, last night, undergoing a 10 p.m. curfew, not because of anything our state has done, but because we live in a border city to a state that's got more severe lockdowns. People from the other city are coming over, and we had 3 people stabbed on Sunday night, one that was killed. So the mayor and the city council voted that we should have a 10 p.m. curfew. Now, whether I agree with that or not doesn't matter. It is the current situation. So what story are we telling ourselves about whatever the current situation is for us financially? Is it that we need money for food, we need money for our rent, we need money for our house payments? Is it whatever it is? That's the situation right now. We're going to use another framework to help us ferret out the facts and the details about your current situation. Then we'll do the same thing for our future situation, what we want, our desired situation. So one of my favorite frameworks, and I'm kind of embarrassed to admit it these days, is the journalistic framework. Remember, you probably learned it in school, high school, maybe even grade school. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. And the framework is still sound today, even though it is not being applied in very many places in the world of journalism these days. But it's still a valid framework, and I've been using it probably since I learned it in maybe sophomore year of high school. I learned about the who, where, what, why, and how. And I probably learned it before then, but it really stuck when I got involved in journalism in high school and was involved in our newspaper and things, and entered competitions and learned about how do you actually write factually about a situation. How do you really report on a situation? And that's how we're going to apply it in our lives. We're not going to apply it to manipulate and trick ourselves. We're going to apply it in actually a fact-finding, investigative way. So think about your financial situation and ask yourself who, what, where, when, why, and how. I'm going to cheat and look at my little notebook. Remember I said I do this too? I'm going to look at my book because I started doing this for financial. I started doing my homework already, because what we're going to do is we're going to sit down and for a few minutes, it doesn't take very long. This maybe took me 4 or 5 minutes to do. And I didn't do the future part yet, but I did do the what's my current situation. So if I'm looking at my current situation financially, and I don't want to look at everything, right? We can't attack everything with respect to any of these areas of our life simultaneously. So pick one thing, maybe the one thing that is, keeping you up at night, or that you really, really need to and want to make a change in. And just ask yourself these questions with respect to that and get really clear on. And the reason we break it down and ask the questions is so that we take out a lot of the emotions and stuff, because there isn't an area of our life, I don't think, more that has emotional baggage with it than the area of money and finances and income. It's tied to our ego. It's tied to our identity. It's tied to everything. Not necessarily because we want it that way, but the world around us ties so much status and different emotions and different feelings to the topic of money. It can do really it can do a lot of damage to our self-esteem and our belief in ourselves and our belief about ourselves, depending on what our past beliefs have been about money. So who are we talking about? Well, I say me. We're talking about me, my financial situation. Why? Because the only person's financial situation that I can really change is my own, right? I can make a bunch of money and I can give it to other people and change their financial situation short term, but long term, we're always talking about the who is always me whenever I'm applying the who, what, where, when, why, and how. Unless I'm actually investigating something else, and then the who might be someone else. But for our exercise, for these purposes, the who is me or you. What's going on? What is the situation that I am addressing right now? Now, let me see what I picked. Pick a specific thing to work toward and apply the SOAP framework. Yep. So I'm going to say, I'm going to pick a specific amount of money. Okay. I want to do, and I think I've shared before, during this challenge, I am putting together a challenge summit, which means a whole bunch of other people and experts speaking on the topic of challenges, all together for probably 2 to 5 day period, talking about their expertise and their experiences, actual experiences with challenges. And to do that, in the past, I have done a summit. I did it on my own. It took me a couple of months. It was a ton of work, and I figured out all the moving parts, but it was a ton of work. That was in 2019. 2021 will be 2 years later. I learned a lot, and I want to take the lessons I learned from that situation and apply it to the Challenge Summit. One of the biggest lessons I learned was that you don't do everything yourself. You get help, and you build a team to do it. So in order to build a team to do that, I don't have a team right now to do that, right? I currently do not have the staff during COVID-19 and the people and the resources to put that team together. I don't have the extra money that would cost to do that team right now. That's my current situation. What do I want? My desired situation, my desired what is that I want to put on this amazing summit. It's going to require resources and help costs money. So let's say I need $5,000 a month to make that happen. So my current state is I don't have $5,000 to do this. I want to do this. Therefore, I need to find ways to bring in. I need to find $5,000 a month in order to get the help I need to make this happen, to pull this project off. So that's the what. The what is my current situation, right? And I like to go through this with the who, what, where, when, why, and how of my current situation. And then I like to put on the top desired, and I like to go through it with my desired outcome. But I'm kind of sharing it so you know the kind of specific thing that we want to pick on. Or say you need to pay the mortgage or the electric bill and you don't have the money to pay that right now. And so what you want is to be able to pay that easily, right? So, and the rest of the SOAP framework is going to help us get from where we are to where we want to be. right? So when, oh, where, I need my magnifying glass. Where, who, what, where can be, okay, so now I'm thinking about the actual situation. I want help with this particular project. So where could be, where am I? Well, I'm going to be where I am. And most people are working virtually with respect to this kind of thing now. So I need to say, okay, can this be virtual? So yep, where doesn't really matter because I can get help virtually. The things that we need help with, 99% of them, if not 100% of them, can be done virtually over the technology that exists today and people are using all the time. When, as soon as possible. And then why? Because I need help putting together the Challenge Summit. And then how, I'm probably going to have to figure it out, the how of it. But I'm thinking right off the bat that I can hire somebody online, like virtual assistants or something, or other team members and people, and enlist their help to do this. Now, to me, all of that, who, what, where, when, why, and how, helps me decide. That's where I am right now. Right now, I don't know how to do it. I don't know exactly the way to do it. I've got experience in other areas that I can call upon, but I don't exactly know the how. The why, when I think about the why, I'm going to go through and do the 7 why exercise that we did before on this. I'm going to say, okay, well, why do I want help with this? And get clear on who, go back to the who would meet the qualifications. Who do I really want? As part of my desired outcome, I'm going to answer those questions a little more clearly because I want to be clear on what I want so that that's what I set myself up for creating. So, SOAP framework, the S stands for story or your situation. We want to look at our current situation now. We want to look at it journalistically, realistically, with facts, not just all emotion. The emotions are going to be there, but pull out of those emotions why you're feeling that way and what that means for the who, what, where, when, why, and how framework. We're going to do that for both our current situation and what we want our situation to be. So for me, for this 4-day SOAP framework, I'm going to walk through how, and knowing that I need $5,000 a month to pull off this summit. I need, as soon as possible, I need to start making an extra $5,000 a month to get the help that I need to put a great summit on. I hope that's clear enough. If it's not, if you've got questions on this about the story and the situation or the who, what, where, and why, and how, use it for decades, ask in the comments below. Otherwise, do the exercise, just use the tool, who, what, where, when, why, and how. But for our action item today, just share one sentence, if you can get it into one sentence, about your current and your desired situation. So we have an idea of what you're working on financially. So for me, I would say my current situation, I don't need my current situation. I'm just going to go to the desired, because when I share the desired, you assume I don't have the current. So I'm going to say I want to make $5,000 more a month to get help with the early 2020 Challenge Summit. That would be my sentence. I haven't written it down yet, but that will be my sentence, and that's what I'll share in the action item below. Any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow, and we will talk about the... I stole my granddaughter's building blocks because I have toys around here. The O. I like O because it looks rightwards, whether it's backwards or not. We'll talk about the O in SOAP and the SOAP framework and what that means and how we use that to get up and go. Look, I found a little Monopoly car. Have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow.